one long video, which could be in this case up to maybe an hour long. It's going to be a series of short videos, each one concentrating on a particular part of the build. So that means for me, I can take a bit more time to explain the process and the techniques that we're going to use for each part of the build. And secondly, you haven't got to watch the whole lot if you choose not to. If something's not relevant to the build that you're doing, or the technique that you want to learn, or just watch someone else do, then you don't have to watch that video. You can skip ahead and watch the next part of the video, rather than wading through 60 minutes of stuff and something you may not want to watch anyway. Now, this may be a good idea, I'm not sure. I'd appreciate your comments if you want to make them down below. Just let me know if you think it's a good idea that we split this into separate parts, or if you just have one long video, and maybe I can then put some marks in the description so you can actually see if you just want to skip ahead for one long video. I'll leave it up to you. Let me know, and we can take it from there. So before we get going on this particular build, I just want to point out that there is actually no logical or economic reason for me to actually make this this build. I saw this particular loco advertised on eBay, and it seemed like a bit of a challenge, a bit of fun. I thought it'd make a nice video. There have been a couple of people on social media that have said they don't really see the point in doing it. I kind of understand there are cheaper ways and easier ways to achieve this end effect, but we're starting from one particular extreme and going to hopefully something that will be nice on the layout. This loco is probably going to be, for me, it's probably going to end up on the layout. I don't think it's something I'm going to sell unless somebody really wants to own it, but it's just something that I want to do. And so as they say, without further ado, let's get going. So here we have our latest acquisition from eBay, Class 08, described as a runner and weathered. Yeah, it's definitely weathered anyway. So looking closely at it, I thought I would try to maybe get the weathering off, and then we'll start to do something with the BR green that's already there. But looking at it closer, it looks like the green is actually painted on with a brush. So I'm not sure. Well, I know that the green now isn't the original colour, so we'll see if we can get that off in a bit. And I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with this eventually anyway, as the sort of overall theme, but I've got an idea now that I'm probably going to repaint this in a BR blue. I say there are quicker options, quicker ways of having a blue Class 08 on the layout, and that's definitely not this way, but this is a bit of a challenge. So after I tacked it with some IPA, I can see that underneath there's a totally different colour, a different loco, and you probably recognise the grey with the black roof from a Piccadilly Class 08 Shunter. I thought it'd be nice if I could actually take the paint back and just have the original, but it was a bit damaged underneath, so that didn't work. So I've used IPA. I tried a few different things. I didn't have any enamel thinners to hand. That probably would have worked. But IPA seems to do the trick. On with one of my old brushes. Just give it a good brush and let it soak for a couple of seconds, and you can see it does come off. Now there's lots and lots of paint. It's quite thick in places. The white line around the waist that you can see there was even thicker, and that was a bit troublesome to get off, you'll see. But I don't have to get everything off, so I want to get as much as I can and have a good surface as I can achieve to start with the new colour over the top. But all the bits in the panel joins and around the doors, they're obviously going to get a bit of treatment of rust and grime and weathering, so they haven't got to be as pristine as you would want if you're going to do like a show model. You know my style. Hopefully by now it's going to be rusty and crusty, but just not as crusty as this is at the moment, I think. So one of the things we need to achieve, the green paint that's been put on with the brush is quite thick, and it hides a lot of the detail. So things like the hinges, which are not particularly good anyway on these railroad models. I say not good, they're not the they're not as pronounced as they could be, so we're going to have to do something with those. Maybe we'll highlight and do something with those. Now I was hoping to save the wasp stripes. Now on the back it doesn't look too bad, but on the front the stripes have come off, so that's it's a bit of a shame, but never mind, we can get around that. But the main thing is to get this this paint off as much as we can to start with, just so we get back to the shell, and then we'll start again with the new colour. Now if you're after a BR Blue Class 08, there are lots and lots on eBay, and if you just want a blue 08, then I'd suggest that's probably what you do, is go ahead and buy one of those. But this is a particular project for me. There's a picture that I've seen on Instagram, and I'll share that in the next video, which I really like, and I want to do this as kind of as way out as that picture shows. So just trying to get as much as this paint off as we can. So there's as much as I think we're going to remove. So the wasp stripes have unfortunately disappeared, so we will repaint those ends in yellow. But obviously on an older weathered 08, I've seen some pictures, and I'm trying to copy that, where the yellow towards the top has faded almost back to white, and the wasp stripes, the black stripes, will be over the top. I've got some decals, and they've just literally arrived in the post as I was doing the audio for this, so I've got those now. And I think we'll start by just adding a black primer, covering the whole lot, just to see where we are. We can see if there's anything that we need to sort of address, if there's any more paint that I really need to sort of get off. Otherwise we'll go on the primer. Now we can see I've taken it off the chassis already. That's going to need a bit of extra work. We'll do that in a separate video. It does run, but not particularly well, but the engine's the motor is sound. It's just it's a bit grotty, as you'll see. So I've given the body a wash in some soapy water. Got it to dry properly, and then we can give it a go with our black primer. This is Vallejo surface primer in black, which is just my favourite to use. I've said this before, it's nice for sort of extra shadow. So if you miss a part with the main colour, or you lay it on a little bit thinner, then the black will show through like a shadow detail, which is quite good for scale modelling. So lots of different angles on this body, so we just need to make sure we get everything from every angle. I'm debating whether to change the ladders, because they're really out of scale, really thick. There are some etched brass versions around. I may have a look at those. Looking at this now on the screen, they just look a bit oversized. So possibly I will look at changing those. Might have a go at sanding them back first. Maybe in another video we'll see me doing that. Just to give it a go, just to see what it actually looks like, to see if we can get away with it. But there's already a little bit of extra money invested in this, so I've got some new buffers, I've got decals for the wasp stripes and the logos. A glazing set I've already got, and you see there's a little bit of money to be spent on on the motor as well, so I need some extras for that and some service parts. But like I say, this one isn't for any sort of financial gain. It's just something I want to do. There's a picture that I want to kind of copy. I like the look of it. It's as rusty and crusty as I'd like things to be, and so I thought it'd just be a nice challenge to try and copy something like that. So the black primer just shows up everything that I'm working on, so it doesn't look too bad. You can see from there I've got most of the paint off the original paint, but like I say, in between around the panels and the detail lines, there is going to be a build up of grime and rust and grease from years and years of use of this Class 08 on the line. So it's really not that important to get out everything. It doesn't need to be a pristine body because we're going to add more grime and filth in there anyway, but just hopefully maybe a little bit nicer than it was originally. Got some water down there, so just want to get rid of that, just dry that off so I can re-prime that. That's pretty much done now. A little bit more on the roof, I think, and the ladders. It's so difficult to, it's so easy to miss parts on this. You need to go from every angle, and you can see our patented loco body holder, which is supplied with every roll of Andrex. I won't put a link to that down in the description. I think you know where to buy your toilet rolls. So that's pretty done for this one. We'll see you in the next video when we're hopefully going to put some colour on. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for watching. Thanks for your time.